Hey, it's Molly. Welcome back to my channel as we discuss the Pisces Lunar Eclipse happening on September 17th, 2024 at 10:35 p.m. That's Eastern Time. So keep in mind that depending on your time zone, this eclipse could happen in the early morning hours of September 18th. So this is quite a fascinating Pisces lunar eclipse, and it's worth noting that it is our first Pisces eclipse since September 2016. And we also are experiencing this lunar eclipse at 25 degrees 40 minutes of Pisces, which is a degree point where we haven't had a lunar eclipse at this degree point for about a century. So that is also important to note. Now, this is where the moon is in Pisces, and that means the sun is directly opposite in Virgo at 25 degrees of Virgo, 40 minutes. So we actually round up here to 26 degrees of Virgo, 26 degrees of Pisces. Now, this is an axis of balancing our mental, physical selves with our emotional, spiritual selves. And so it's encompassing a lot of our energy fields all at once. And the moon is conjunct Neptune at 28 degrees Pisces retrograde, which adds in a very strong Piscean influence. Now, another thing to note is that this eclipse is working with the North Node. So even though the North Node is over here at 6 degrees of Aries, 36 minutes, this is working with this trajectory of the new beginnings you're moving into, the new dreams, the fresh starts. And I feel that this eclipse is asking you to let go of what you don't need so that you can honor this new start that is calling to you, that has your name on it. There are big endings here with the Pisces lunar eclipse conjunct Neptune. And I feel that what it is bringing up is really being clear with yourself about what you have completed, healed, and closed out that is actually now freeing up your energy and your space to move towards what this North Node in Aries is beckoning you towards. So with this eclipse, you could really feel deeply, and I feel like you've already been receiving messages that you know what is ending for you. The energy is no longer present. It's not connecting with you. It isn't even a part of your daily reality. There could be pieces of it that you're still figuring out, which that sun in Virgo actually enjoys. But because this is towards the end of Virgo, solutions are being presented. You're arriving at a concise understanding of what you've lived through, what you've developed, even what you have skillfully mastered. The sun in Virgo is about your skill set, what you have focused on, where you've had discipline. This is details, being methodical, understanding the specifics and analyzing them, especially with Mercury over here in Virgo as well. So there could be this push and pull between what your practical mind has come to understand and then what your intuitive self is feeling and sensing. Now, the intuitive energy is very strong here. And because this is a full moon lunar eclipse, there's more that's being illuminated that you didn't previously see or understand. And this Pisces is a veil, the strong Pisces energy that is quite mystical and actually enjoys illusions. What I feel is happening is that we're being pushed, almost required to see in a new light what Neptune in Pisces has been holding for you. What that Neptune in Pisces has been whispering towards you, those soul messages, those understandings, those higher perspectives, and ultimately giving you more of a superpower to trust what is closing out on your journey. To trust that what you are finishing is right on time. This is when there can be some rather big exposures around those illusions, lies, anything that actually is not real or true, which is what the Virgo energy looks for. There could be some powerful insights here around what you've been denying to yourself, what you've been avoiding, how you've been procrastinating, almost like something you didn't want to see or you didn't want to look at. I think it's going to be quite evident here as that full moon brings to your conscious awareness more of what has been hidden. And I do feel that Saturn in Pisces has a role in this. And that's because right before the moon reaches this peak full moon illumination, the moon will be conjunct Saturn. And Saturn's going to provide a reality check here at 15 degrees. And then 10 degrees later, the moon is feeling the strength of that lunar eclipse, that frequency. And Saturn would have provided a clear, grounded message around what was invisible becoming visible. Because Saturn is the 3D. It's our physical world, our environments, what we can see. And as Saturn continues through Pisces and brings to our awareness what has been hidden, what we have to acknowledge and work with and work through, it's almost like there's no more secrets, or there's a lessening of those secrets. And so I feel that this is supporting us in moving higher into our intuition and allowing it to be more of our daily lives, where we trust more of what we're sensing and picking up, even when the mind might be wrestling with it and can't figure it out. I think many people are going to have some powerful spiritual advancements during this Pisces lunar eclipse. And keep in mind that with this eclipse happening at 26 degrees of Pisces conjunct Neptune, the North Node here in Aries, right? Well, the North Node moves in reverse. And in January and February of 2025, the North Node is going to be working with this eclipse point, working with Neptune, moving us into more of those spiritual connections, more of those intuitive downloads that we've been integrating. And when the North Node gets to this eclipse point in early 2025, you could finally have more understanding of what this eclipse is revealing and opening up for you. And this eclipse is about growth because it works with the North Node. The last time we had a Pisces eclipse working with the North Node was September 2006 and August 2007. So those Pisces eclipses back in 2006, 2007 were opening you up in the same way that this lunar eclipse is. But keep in mind, it's supercharged with this Neptune and Pisces. So it's going to amplify more of what you're closing out on a bigger scale. You could just feel it or sense it. It could be hard to put into words. I feel too that this can open up empathy, compassion, forgiveness, forgiveness of others, forgiveness of self, self-compassion, unconditional love for self, unconditional love for humanity. And that those are expansive energies that we can invite into our daily lives, which will help with the completions that you're moving through and how you're moving on. Also, with this Neptune influence, the energy is so much bigger than our humanness and our human self. This also amplifies energies in the ocean with an eclipse in Pisces. I'm just thinking about how it's a full moon lunar eclipse. There could be more extremes in the tidal ebb and flow. There could be more potentials for hurricanes, flooding, typhoons. All of that can be much bigger with a Pisces lunar eclipse. But thankfully, the planets here in Virgo keep us grounded, practical, and offer clear thinking about next steps and anything that we need to focus on. Now, the other strong energies in this chart include this Uranus at 27 degrees of Taurus retrograde, sextiling the moon, and then this Pluto at 29 degrees Capricorn retrograde, sextiling the moon, and that means also working with Neptune. Now, I have a separate video on YouTube of this chart with this minor grand trine where all three planets, outer planets, are connecting with the energy of the Pisces lunar eclipse, so directly affecting the emotional body, spiritual healing, karmic release, allowing you to transition into what is a better fit for your frequency now. There's cosmic support and deep transformation apparent, and there's a sense of readiness as well. If you've been avoiding change, Uranus in Taurus gives you that electrical shock, that lightning strike, that it is time to make a change. So again, I talk more about this energy in a separate video, but keep in mind that now the moon is in the apex position here. And the moon is personal. So this big shift, this big harmonious connection between the three outer planets feels more personal. And I feel it's like a rising up of the energies. And I think it definitely supports spiritual growth and ascension energies, not only in the collective, which is Neptune, but in the personal. So there's very significant change present here. And the change for you is going to happen wherever you have these late degrees of Pisces in your chart by house placement. And so in this example chart, it's in the 11th house. So this would be, for example, the completion or ending of one life vision and trusting that a new life vision, dreams, and goals are going to show up to move towards next. So understand that this Pisces lunar eclipse is about some very deep letting goes at a soul level. I mean, it's hard to put it into words, but when you see how Pluto is supporting it and Uranus is supporting it, there's a big cosmic change that we're all feeling. And the planet I feel the planet is holding space for that. And getting back to the ocean and any earth changes, the earth is feeling it too. And then, of course, we also have this Pluto trining the Sun in Virgo, Uranus trining the Sun in Virgo, and this is creating a kite configuration here. And in that kite configuration, again, the apex is this lunar eclipse. So it's right on time, and you could feel like there's part of your practical mind, even the scientific mind, that's getting on board. It's that sense of, well, I don't quite understand it, but I feel it. And I feel that all this energy over here in Pisces, plus the support of Pluto and Uranus, is like lifting the Virgo energy off the ground a little bit, which Virgo doesn't want. Virgo's like, keep me on the ground in the garden. Don't take me off of the earth. But this energy is pulling us into new experiences of new frequencies. And I feel that, okay, it's levitating. We're all going to start levitating. And this is next level of light body activations, where it's what you let go of that you've been cleansing, purging, refining. That Virgo energy likes to be efficient and wants to optimize the body, to be in good shape, to be healthy, to have a responsible lifestyle. You could feel that changing. And I feel that it leads to this ability to let go of where you've been, and that there are new ways of moving forward that you can't see yet. It's like, you know, when you're in an airplane and you're flying through the clouds and the fog, and you look out the window and you can't see the earth below, even though you know it's there. That's what I'm getting here, is that we're going to be moving through foggy terrain that takes us to a higher destination. And I'm just feeling the light body, which is the body feeling lighter, holding higher frequencies, feeling the crystalline vibrations. I also feel this is an activation for the next level light workers, healers, intuitives, energy readers. Those who are coming into more of their spiritual gifts are going to feel this deeply, that you need to move on from where you've been, and you're feeling that pull towards the next opening or the next part of your spiritual path. And this North Node in Aries has your name on it. And so it might not fully connect until January, February 2025. But this is where you're sensing, I'm complete with a part of my journey. And I don't know where I'm going to land next. I don't know what that looks like, but I sense it and I can't deny it. And that could be something that this Saturn in Pisces makes evident. You can't deny it. You get confirmation, evidence, something comes through in black and white, and the universe is telling you you're moving on, you're moving forward. And so where do you need to prepare your energy and prepare your space so that you can levitate? You can head into this new assignment, I'm hearing assignment, that is opening up, even though, again, it's not fully clear or known just yet. And so also in the mix is the moon in Pisces is squaring this Jupiter at 20 degrees, nearly 20 degrees of Gemini, 36 minutes. And this is wanting to know, what are the details? Where am I going? What do I need to know? What do I need to research? What do I have to study or teach or learn or understand? And this Jupiter squaring the moon can bring up that anxiety. Can I trust this? Is this real? Is it true? Is there an app for that? I need an app. I need an app on my phone that allows me to trust and have faith more. So this is the mind working overtime to figure out what exactly the Pisces energy wants to take you to. The final degrees of Pisces, especially these last 5 degrees of Pisces, is traveling in a void. It's an open space. It's pure potential. It has a sense of what if this and what if that. And I feel like it can deeply connect you to a miracle matrix of possibilities when you're in that space of, I don't know, and I love it. I don't know, but I'm excited. I don't know, but I can trust that the universe is guiding me beautifully. And those might be important messages you have to practice, because this Jupiter and Gemini will run away with stories, worst case scenarios, will go in all directions and might not settle down. So it'll be up to you to stay in the higher vibrations of what Pisces offers, where the universe is directing you towards something because of what you're completing, what is unraveling, what has served its time and its purpose, especially as Neptune is completing a really big cycle here and is urging us to clear out what we don't need so that we can move into the new dreams. Now, at a more practical level, getting back to some Virgo themes here, managing stress, worry, guilt, anxiety is going to be important, especially with this Mercury, 14 degrees of Virgo, opposing Saturn, 15 degrees of Pisces retrograde. This opposition between Mercury and Saturn can feel the hardship, the challenges, the worry, and the stress, especially about the details. And these two planets are also squaring Jupiter in Gemini. So being able to calm the mind is important. And to be honest, managing stress during big periods of unknown and no answers and wondering and questioning can be a lot at times. And so the Virgo energy does well through exercise, going for a walk, yoga, anything that allows the mind and the body to sync up, to calm itself, to settle, to relax. And then, maybe you turn your attention to puzzles or Sudoku or something that allows the mind to be occupied without going into any stress or worry about the big changes that you might be feeling and going through. Venus in Libra has just had her exact opposition to this Chiron at 22 Aries retrograde. And this could have brought up her fears around being on her own, because this Venus prefers connection and partnership and having others to turn to. And so there could have been, right before the eclipse and during the eclipse, a part of Venus that triggered what she doesn't think she can do on her own or handle. But she's also in a trine to Jupiter still. The trine was exact a few days before the eclipse, and that could have brought in some good news, positive developments, something beneficial for this Venus to work with and enjoy. It could have been something with one of her talents, connections, anything she's good at that she enjoys. The Jupiter trine would have brought in more good news and rewards to support her. And then it would have pushed her to face something that Chiron in Aries is healing in our sense of self, And that Chiron retrograde in Aries is reminding us you don't have to be perfect. You just need to be you. And it's by understanding more of who you are that you're going to find more of those hidden gems and parts of yourself to really love and honor. So there could definitely be something in your self-worth that you're facing during this lunar eclipse. And then going forward, we have the Libra Equinox on September 22nd. And that brings us back to Venus. Because on that same day, there's a really fascinating dance of energies. And I'll do a separate chart for you on that. But this Venus, she squares Pluto on the Libra Equinox. Then she moves into Scorpio as the Sun moves into Libra. And there's some kind of great cosmic balancing, even a divine justice, even a revelation of what's been out of balance and needs more equilibrium on the planet. And with it happening during eclipse season, with that Libra equinox being the meat in the eclipse sandwich, it's bigger karmic balancing and divine justice unfolding. So we have quite an active eclipse season in September and October. And there's a lot connected with Venus and Libra themes as well. So with this Pisces lunar eclipse, you are looking at where you have 26 degrees of Pisces in your chart. You are being guided to get quieter, to listen, to really hear what you're feeling and sensing in that house, as that is the universe giving you heads up into what is changing and how to prepare yourself for the letting go and completions that you've probably earned. And that's something that occurs at the late degrees of the astrology signs, is that, you've been through perhaps some big understandings of the energies. And if you've been learning and applying and understanding at the higher levels, then there are rewards that come about when we're at these end degrees of the astrology signs. And honestly, I just can't get over how beautifully aligned it is with this Pluto and Uranus sextiling the planets in Pisces. So whatever it might be, it's right on time, even if the rational mind is struggling with it. The universe is saying this is happening for the collective. This is occurring on a much grander scale. And if you can ride the waves of change, if you can navigate on that surfboard, you're going to probably have some beautiful developments and even feel uplifted by the changes. So I'll be sharing more about this Pisces lunar eclipse on my podcast if you would like to join me there. Otherwise, wishing you a beautiful Pisces lunar eclipse here on September 17th. I will be back with a video on that Libra equinox, and then we'll also have our final Libra eclipse on October 2nd. Thank you so much for your comments, your likes, your subscribes, and for sharing this video with others who might benefit from it. And I look forward to being back here soon to continue our astrological conversation.